Howdy. So today what we're going to go through is a quick summary of how to use the Abbreviation Manager, or what I call SmartTEXT, in Raintree. So let's get into it. The first thing you'll want to notice is that SmartTEXT or Abbreviation Manager can be used in any free-form box. A free-form box looks just like this. So anything in Raintree that you can type freely into the system. So I can type anything I want into this box. In order to get to our Abbreviation Manager, what we're going to do is open up the editor within a free-form box. You get to the editor by clicking in the box and then holding both the Control key and the E key at the same time. So Control E for editor. And when I do that, this box shows up. So let me pull it into the screen here quick, which is called the editor. Now within the editor, we can do a couple other things that we couldn't do in the more generic free text box, which is we could change the font type, we could change the size of the font, we can change the color of the font, we can manipulate the font to do different things for us, and sometimes that can be helpful. You may notice in some of the templates that we create, we change the text color of certain words to red to make sure that we address those words to change them if it's important for that. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on our SmartTEXT feature or Abbreviation Manager. And we do that by going up into the Tools and the Options. And then we're going to go into Spelling and Abbreviation Options. Click on that. And by default, the abbreviations are not enabled. And so we're going to click on this box here. And now we've enabled abbreviation use for this computer. And it is for each individual computer, not for your user. So if you jump around between computers, you have to go and do this for each computer. And we'll click OK here at the bottom. Now my Abbreviation Manager is on. And what that's going to look like is I can do various things in the system. So I have some set up. So let's try some out here quick. So let's say I wanted to do an assessment. I would type A, and then here's my Abbreviation Manager coming up for me, and I have 4 options. But let's say I use the first option, so AS1, and then I'm going to click the space bar. And what happens is I get a preloaded text that I have already entered for that assessment. You can see here, you guys can all read. Patient displayed good tolerance for session, will continue to benefit. So what this is really good for is any of those preloaded phrases that we might want to use in the system. We can quickly get after those phrases within this free text box by using these abbreviations. So let's go ahead and save an abbreviation. So let's say something that we type a lot would be something like patient displayed good tolerance for recent PT session. If that's something that we type a lot, we could put that in there. And then what I'm going to do is just highlight that text. So click and drag across my mouse so that I highlight the text. I'm going to go back into the upper tool box here, and I'm going to go back to my tools, and I'm going to go into the User Abbreviation Manager. If I click on that, I will see my personal Abbreviation Manager comes up with a list of all the abbreviations that I have. And you can see because I highlighted this text right here, I actually have the replace with already set up. So the patient displayed good tolerance for recent session has been preloaded because of what I highlighted before. Okay. Then I have to come up with an abbreviation. And as you can see the examples here, we have to make sure the abbreviations are easily identifiable, something that you aren't going to accidentally type. So, because if you accidentally type it and hit space, you're going to get this whole preloaded form. And something you can recall, for when you're using it. So I use abbreviations for assessment as AS and then several numbers to identify. If I'm going to do like a discharge, it's DC. You can see I have a gate and various gate phrases that I might type out. Subjective, I use just sub 1, 2. There's a couple other ones that I've come up with, but this is really for each individual therapist to figure out what's going to work best for them. And there will be one more video coming out about how we can try to have more of a universal or global abbreviation manager as well. But for each individual, you're welcome to kind of create your own lists different things that you might use. And I would just try to keep them as simple as you can so you don't forget them. For this one, let's just say we want to call this subjective 3. I'm going to hit add, and you'll see in my list that subjective 3 comes down here in the corner. And then I just close this out, and I'm going to go ahead and close the editor. You can't see this, so I'm going to bring it back over here. Just close the editor down on the side. Do you want to save it? Sure, we do. And so this is then back to the range tree form where we see this. Now let's say I had nothing here again. I could do my abbreviations, and you can see my list comes up now as I type here because I've turned it on. But let's say sub 3 and hit spacebar. And when I click that, then my patient displayed good tolerance for recent PT session comes up right away. Okay, so that's just a quick overview about how to use the Abbreviation Manager or SmartTEXT feature in Raintree. If you have questions, feel free to give us shoot me an email, or if you have other suggestions about, again, various things that you'd like to see in future videos, feel free to make a comment. Thank you.